Hi guys, so today we have this video. It's called Knights of BFN. It's basically a guide for showing our wisdom, and we're going to be reviewing the 4 legendaries that we think are the best. So, for coming up in our 4th place, we're thinking that Thorn Apart is the 4th best, and here's why. So Rose is a support class that's meant to screw over the zombies by using her abilities to make it like having a rough time for the zombies, like for turning them into goats, jinxing them, etc. Now what the Thorn Apart upgrade does is kind of turns her more into a attack class, if you say. Her thistle missiles basically do 25 damage. You can hope to have 5 of them. And to gain those thistle missiles, you can do various things like reviving your teammates, goatifying, using Arcade Enigma nearby your allies, getting a kill with Jinx, using Jinx, basically a bunch of supportive way. But the problem with this upgrade is that it's basically turning a character that's supposed to be a support while trying to do attack. There's many other upgrades that you can still put into attack, but also add other upgrades to make her a better support character. It's like trying to turn Scientist into attack class from Garden Warfare 2. It doesn't really fit well, and how you have to gain all those pistol missiles by using your abilities, and if you don't have those right upgrades with it, like Carpool, it's going to make it less efficient. But there are some upsides to her, like getting unsuspecting enemies. Her missiles have homing, so that's a great idea. Like what we use it for is, let's say a imp is coming out of Z-Mech, then you can quickly use your Thorn Apart and it kills them easily. Or, well, let's say you have a weakened enemy, you can use them and the missiles will guide and kill them. It's more of a catch enemy unsuspected, or on the other term, getting a nice cheesy kill. But there's many other upgrades that would be better in this case, and it kind of messes up with her base kit. So we rate this in 4th place. Next up, we have Steam Blasters. Steam Blasters for Scientists, a support class. What Steam Blaster does is it's a area control effect dealing massive damage to enemies within the area. And the reason we put this on 3rd place is for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a support class, so still there would be many other upgrades, and it messes with the base kit. So you could put many other better like attack upgrades, but if you want to go for more of a area effect, this would be best put. But there are many problems to it, such as, let's say for example, an acorn or just your regular enemy goes from far away distance. Sure, you can use your warp, but if you're out of your warp, then you're kind of in a screwed position. Or if they're on a tree, you cannot reach on that tree, so they have advantage since it's a close range weapon. But there are many good sides to it, such as, let's say you have like a huge group of plants for garden ops, that's perfect. Or if you have acorns and oaks camping, it's a great way to clear them out. And also, Scientist isn't supposed to be attack class, same for Thorn Apart, so it isn't really the best, and has given only 4 ammo. The only really great upgrade to do is Materialize, so you can gain some ammo back, but other than that, it's a really hard class to perform with, since you're supposed to be attacking, but you don't have that much HP, and your whole base kit is supposed to be healing in the back, and there's no ranged weapon whatsoever, so if your enemy is on the range, there's basically nothing you can do. And also how extremely slow it fires. That's why we put it on the number 3rd spot. Now, I know you're thinking like, wait, Shogun God can't be the best. I thought it was Super Brains. Now sure, Super Brains is a very well-known legendary upgrade, and it's highly abused to many toxic players and act like chickens. That's why the chicken costume was invented that you can get on one of the prize maps. How funny. So, what is the legendary upgrades for Super Brains? Its Brainium 9000, and there's a few abilities. It has an uppercut, a first dash, a second dash, a third dash, and then the fourth charge glitch, basically dealing massive damage. But what is the problem with it? It's more of a solo build that does not really rely on the teamwork basis, since this game is all surrounded by teamwork. Next up, there's another problem. When you dash forward, you're permanently stuck on that dash, so people can easily dodge out of your way. And how there's other counters to it, such as acorns or anything that knocks you back, you cannot use your charge. Although, this is a great class for handling 1v1s, picking off small classes around the area with its high mobility. It also has a pretty decent range. The reason we place this as second is because there's more problems with it since it doesn't really have that much range except one ability. When you lose that, well, the garlic drones are going to be picking at you for a while. Next up, Turbo Twister. Sure, it's a great combo to get in well with the Brainium, since the Brainium can launch you out, but there's still many abilities that can basically counter it, such as Peach. So it really makes it hard for a Brainium to attack when all the plants are usually grouped up in such groups. So that's why we're placing it on second. Maybe if this was more like, had at least another ranged attack, then sure. But for now, it ain't really the best. Although, don't get me wrong, I and it is a great upgrade. It's just, there are so many flaws with it that can make this class really hard to play against a group of more than 2 people. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, sure, this is the first upgrade. But people also think it's a very, very trash upgrade. Some people think it's the most balanced, and the other ones are just cracked as heck. But this guy, or Shulgin guy, is very powerful for a very few reasons. First up, it doesn't mess up with any of the base kit. It actually makes the base kit even better. Sure, it does a little less damage than the normal primary, but you gain a shield that takes in 75 damage and will, after destroyed, will only recharge for 4 seconds, and then you fully gain it back. Basically, those snipers can't do anything to you, especially if you have your body covered and only your head peeking out. Basically, they're going to have to get through your shield no matter what. And also how if charge attacks like sprint tackle or brainium charges and you pull up your shield, they won't do anything to you. It'll just be blocked. You just gotta watch out for the uppercut. And since it doesn't block out anything with your base kit, it's basically perfect. And then the damage also is really great. And the 13 damage per hit, instead of losing a bunch of more your shots, it basically fires them singly. So I find it a lot easy to hit my shots better, and you can get that satisfying noise of the old commando corn, the beloved one from Garden Warfare 2. It's just really nice to hear. So that's why I think this is probably the best upgrade. There's nothing to lose. It benefits you for the 5 points, and how for the 2 upgrade slots left, you can combine that with mob cops piercing through, and that does double the damage. Now, if you really want to take things far enough, we can do a critical, that's around 13 damage. Then go put Jinx, that's around 20 damage, and then we can put on Gnome Boost, that's around 30 damage. And plus with the Butter Beacon, you can basically have a 30 damage, whatever you call it, in Giddy Park, if you want to go really that far with it. And how it can support his team by using like a small shield, like Citron. But it's mostly out for the attack class, so that's why we rate this as number 1, and there's no real flaws to it. So welcome for this first video. We hope you enjoyed it. Basically, I didn't really explain it that well in the beginning, but basically, this will be a series where we teach new people, pass down our wisdom. It won't be all of our opinions. We'll also be having tips, tricks, guides, much more, better than my really bad pea shooter guide that I made a while back, and there was the original version, then made the part 2 that was also bad. We're actually going to make more like high quality ones, and we're also going to have a few friends joining in on the video. They're longtime BFN players and expressing their shares of the world of BFN. Basically, we're going to give off a bunch of nice stuff to new players have been playing a long time, maybe tossing some more glitch videos with it. Basically, try to make this a very fun series to have. And we are also thinking of actually naming a whole group around the Knights of BFN, just for a funny joke for any PS4 players. But besides that, hope you have a nice day, and here we go. Goodbye!